this may be a bit strange coming from a Flesh and Blood YouTuber, but in this video, I want to ask you to stop watching Flesh and Blood content. Now, this doesn't pertain to absolutely everybody, and it's not necessarily about all kinds of content. The content that I think is the specific worst offender here is box opening videos, which I don't do, but a lot of other Flesh and Blood YouTubers partake in. Now, I don't think that these videos themselves are a bad thing. I don't think that content creators are bad people whatsoever, and I'm not saying this as a way to pull views from my competition in any such way. No, this video is a call to every person who plays Flesh and Blood, who is watching content, especially the box opening videos, who is financially struggling. Please, for your own sake, stop watching this content. We are living in unprecedented times. At least here in Canada, and I know also in America, we have staggering inflation. The price of gas is insane. Food prices are going through the roof, and the cost of living is getting harder and harder to maintain. And I know many people who are starting to genuinely struggle to make ends meet, including friends that I have made within Flesh and Blood. In fact, I have a friend who would open up just a crap ton of cases for every past set, but is unable to do so with Uprising because with the state of the economy, his business is not doing that well and he is finding it difficult to support his family. And so he has decided not to buy a ton of Uprising, which, while it sucks, is very much the respectable decision to make. And I know that there are a lot of you out there who are probably also in precarious positions financially. I've talked about this on the channel before, but I used to be seriously addicted to buying Magic the Gathering, whether it be sealed product or cards. And while I have bought a lot of Flesh and Blood, my purchasing problem has gone way down. I think a big part of this is the fact that Flesh and Blood doesn't release sets constantly, and so there's not this constant desire and pressure to buy the newest set. However, we have just seen the release of Uprising, and along with it, you're seeing hundreds of box opening videos. If you go on Discord or Reddit or Facebook, you're seeing people post all of their pulls, and watching this content is only going to make you want to buy these boxes more. And if you are somebody who is in any sort of financial strain or you are in credit card debt, you absolutely should be trying to keep yourself away from this. Because when I burned through a couple $1,000s of savings and put myself $5,000 in debt on a credit card, it was because I was enveloping myself completely within Magic the Gathering, and I was watching a ton of box opening videos online. Now, as time has gone on, I have come to really not like watching box opening videos, and a big part of that reason is because I know what their effect is on me. When you see people open up really good boxes, it makes you want to go out and buy 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 boxes yourself, even if you can't afford it. You get that FOMO, you get that sense of, oh, everybody else is enjoying themselves and I'm not partaking. Even if you think that you have a rock hard will of steel and that you absolutely will not go and buy a box, you and I both know that that's probably far less true than you would like it to be. And again, I say this from experience. I tried to tell myself I wouldn't buy another box of Magic the Gathering. I wouldn't buy any more cards for my commander decks. But you know what happened? A few days to a week later, here I am on the credit card thinking, oh, you know, I'm getting paid at the end of the week. I'll just, I'll put a couple $100s on it. Not a big deal. I'll pay it off, pay a little extra. I buy the box or I buy some cards, and then a few days later I'm buying even more, and all of a sudden I don't have enough extra to pay onto the credit card. And then it's just a nightmare spiral downwards. Now, I know there's probably going to be a couple Timmies out there who go, yeah, I watch the boxes, so I'm not tempted to buy them because then I get it out of my system by watching people online. And we all know that that is complete bullshit. See, when you're opening your own boxes, if you pull really good hits, we all know that feeling of, okay, now I want to go buy another box because that was amazing. But you do also have the reverse. If you get a really crap box, you probably don't want to open another box for quite a while because it feels really bad. But when you're watching online, you see really good pulls and you get that sense of like, ooh, maybe I should go out and maybe I should go gamble on a box. But when you see somebody get really bad pulls, kind of feels bad, but I mean, it's not your box. right? Like you don't feel that negative feeling nearly as much, and so it doesn't hinder you nearly as much. If you are in financial stress, or if things are getting pretty rough for you, especially as the economy just seems to get worse and worse, you absolutely need to take personal responsibility and do what you need to for yourself to distance yourself from the temptation of throwing your money at cardboard crack. And if that means that not only do you not watch box openings, but you also don't watch my content, I would much rather that the people in this community keep themselves well and healthy financially, physically, mentally, in every capacity. I would much rather you do that than watch my content. Now, as I've said in my videos before, I'm not your mom. I can't force you to do or not do something, but I really hope that you take this advice, because as someone who is in debt over trading cards, I can tell you that shit weighs on you. It is so heavy. Even if you don't think that it is, you will wake up in the middle of the night. You might not even be aware of why, but you will wake up in the middle of the night stressed, and you won't even know what it's about. And it's because you have that debt hanging over your head. And you should absolutely do everything you can to not let yourself get caught in that downward spiral. So again, if you have any sort of financial problem, if you are struggling financially, if you have any sort of gambling addiction, and the inflation and the state of the world is starting to hurt, please, for your own sake, stop watching Flesh and Blood content, especially booster box openings. You will be far better off removing yourself from it for a time until you get back on your feet than you will be watching the content. You're really not missing out on a whole lot, and it is better to miss out on a little bit of fun to save yourself from a gigantic financial problem.